Hello and welcome to the rebranded Fight Me. This is now called Impolite Conversation. It has been almost 3 years since I have recorded an episode of Fight Me. Coming up on the 3 year anniversary in a few days. I had finally been pushed to the point again where I can't keep silent. So we're going to do a new episode of Impolite Conversation, which is what I'm calling Fight Me now because I think it fits better. It is focused on the fact that there are certain things we don't say in polite conversation. There are certain things we don't talk about. And those are the things that we need to have conversations about, not just have conversations about, but have deep and true conversations about. Now, 3 years ago, when Biden was on, we were not back under the regime of Donald J. Trump. If you've been hiding under a rock since the end of 2004, so almost a year now. We are once again America's Trumptiful, and this has raised everything to an even higher boiling point because the guy that is supposed to be handling these things keeps pushing it up. He keeps pushing it higher. He does not de-escalate. It is a constant escalation of aggravation, of hostilities. It is a constant fight me. More, that should be Trump's podcast more than mine. So we're going to have an impolite conversation today. I don't have a guest star. I'm hoping to start maybe having guest stars again. I would like to shout out the one true fan of Fight Me who has passed since I stopped recording. And I do appreciate her, and she is in my prayers. If you follow Fight Me, or you'd like to go back and watch the videos or on my YouTube channel, you'll learn some about that fan. And she was on the show. I thanked her. I appreciated her. She was literally probably the only fan. Even my wife, not a fan, but Jenny was a fan, and she appreciated it. So, getting into what we're going to talk about today, it's after the midpoint of 2025. We are in July of 2025, going into August, and we have had 6 months of Donald J. Trump. And in those 6 months, the amount of things that have happened has been mind-boggling. When you talk about the fact that things, when you talk about the fact that, and you think, well, that had to have happened a couple of years ago, then you think, wait a minute, he's only been in office for 6 months. There have been so many events, so many divisive elements, so many things he has done to cause more controversy than his first term ever saw. We are seeing a truly unfettered ego in the White House. And it's all day, every day. It's constant. And there's never been a let up. There's no times you don't hear from the horse. and that's, I don't know if that's scarier or less scary. You at this point always know what's going on. Every day you get some kind of update of some insane thing, and they come so rapid fire that you can't react completely to one individual instance of crazy before the next instance of crazy has happened. And we're going to talk about some of it. I'm not going to try to cover all of it. I only have at most an hour. I probably won't even take the whole hour, to be honest. Coming back, we're gonna see where it ends up. I thank all of you that have come on the journey with me. I thank all of you that are new. If you join up, we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna send you back to my old stuff. Um, but this is Trump late 2025. Our major talking points is Trump's agenda. So Trump's agenda, and you can't see this because it is bitty. Trump's agenda is. Let me make this right bigger. And I for some reason I can't. Okay, there we go. Yes, professional. Trump's agenda, right? You have settlements. You have backroom deals. You have silencing critics, and then the newest thing, and actually, again, I say newest thing, but it's something that's been on the agenda, just not as prevalent until recently, did we realize, but AI regulation. So, getting first into settlements, Trump has always been a litigious figure. Um, the majority of the money he has made, he spends money like a drug addict in Nirvana, but the majority of the money he has made has been, or a lot of the money. I'm not going to say the majority of the money. I have done the research, but a lot of the money he's made has been from settlements. He is an extremely litigious individual, and he doesn't pay out settlements. The Gene Carroll settlement is still in appeals. He doesn't pay out settlements. He gets settlements paid to him. And it has become even more weaponized since he's become president. You go back through, and I will include, I had a really good link that I did the research off some of this for. I didn't include too much of it. This is just the recent stuff. Literally past month. What you're seeing there is the past 2 months. These settlements have taken place. So, I had a really good research information regarding it, and it will be linked in the comments below. So it will be linked in the description. So here, and this is a big win for Trump. Columbia University settled a $220 million lawsuit, supposedly for anti-Semitism, because of Palestinian and I'll include all the source for this will be included in the description. Because of Palestinian protests, the protests against the war in Gaza, which Trump's answer, if you didn't see this, was to have them give us Gaza, us being the United States, and apparently primarily Trump, and we were going to make it into basically I believe he called it the Rio de Janeiro of the Middle East. Like Trump Tower in sand. So that was his plan, and Benjamin Netanyahu sat next to him and was like, "This is the end. Yeah, that works. We're gonna evict all of the Israelites and all the Palestinians, and we're gonna turn Gaza into fucking Las Vegas." Um, yeah, that's what we're gonna do with the Holy Land. But there were protests, obviously, against the genocide of the Palestinian people at Colombia, and Colombia settled for $220 million, and that is that's again a big win for the Trump administration. Um, Paramount, the parent company of CBS, which we'll get to here in a little bit, as well as The Daily Show, Comedy Central. They just shelled out $16 million on a suit regarding 60 Minutes and the phrasing of some of the things that were said, and he expects to get another 20 million. We'll go more into that here in a minute when we talk about the backbiting and the deals, the backroom deals, because he expects to get 20 more million from the new owners. And again, like I said, we'll go into that here in a moment. ABC just paid out 15 million. And within the last few days, he has put up a pending lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal, who apparently have decided they don't care because they keep putting out more and more stuff since he's announced this lawsuit. More and more very, very damning evidence in the Epstein case, and we're going to talk about Epstein a little later in the show. And but he has a pending $1 billion, actually over $1 billion lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal, who also, by the way, the owner of the Wall Street Journal, Rupert Murdoch, who also owns Fox News, who spend all day filleting Trump. So literally, no one is safe. No one is safe from the wrath of this orange toddler. He may come get me for this. Who knows? There's gonna be like 27 people that see it, and then somebody's gonna send it to Trump, and it's gonna blow up, and I'm gonna be famous for 12 minutes until I go to jail for pissing off Trump. But yeah, but these are just a few of the lawsuits that have been settled, and there are even more threatened against news outlets, against political opponents, against anyone that stands up to Trump is a target, and can very well be in danger of weaponized Department of Justice, of a weaponized weaponized lawsuits. These are things that Donald Trump is very familiar with, and even more weaponization of the Department of Justice. This is something he's becoming very familiar with. The old Department of Justice was very much like, no, we're not gonna arrest him because he said your hair was ugly. But Pam Bondi and the new Department of Justice are all over whatever Trump wants. They'll chase down whoever he says. And at this point, I'm assuming Pam Bondi will do anything to get back into his good graces. She's taken herself out of the spotlight recently due to a corneal injury. Hoping, I guess, that nobody remembers the fact that according to the Wall Street Journal, she told Trump repeatedly he was in the Epstein files. Again, not going to really talk about Epstein here, but there's some of these things cannot be touched on without. Right now, Epstein is a web that is touching a lot of stuff, and again, we're going to get to that here in a little bit. Um, Going over the double dealing, backbiting, backroom deals. Paramount, who we just talked about, settled a $16 million lawsuit, and they also, again, going to be touched on here a little bit later. They also did another favor for Trump that you may or may not know about, and as now again, none of this was said aloud. None of this was tit for tat, quid pro quo. But settle a $60 million lawsuit, do him a favor, $8 billion Skydance merger. The timing seems just a little suspect, just a tiny bit suspect. FCC, and again, no, Trump did not come down and say it. But again, the timing is suspect. The actions and the things around it make the deal more questionable than the Disney Marvel merger, more questionable than the House of Mouse has been grabbing power for the past few years, and none of their deals, in my opinion, and again, it's just my opinion, were as questionable as this Paramount Skydance deal. Not specifically because I think that I think the House of Mouse is grasping for a big fat monopoly, and no one's stopping them. That's that's neither here nor there. But this here, it's not so much about a monopoly or about grabbing power or grabbing anything like that. It is actually regarding the circumstances around the deal. If the deal had gone through and none of these circumstances had passed, I don't think it would even be more than a blip on the radar. It'd be, oh wow, $8 billion deal, and that's Hollywood. But the circumstances around it, the $60 million lawsuit, it comes across as a bribe. It really does. Plus the favor, and like I said, we'll get to that here in a moment. And then we have what I'm calling Bribe Force 1. Again, you guys can't see this. I apologize. This is my first time back doing this, and I am not sure where we need to be on the size of this. And that maybe is a little, and that still looks not good, guys. Give me a sec here. And again, this will also be available for download in the let's try that. No, let's try that. Available for download in the description. So you can see this all in front of you. You don't necessarily have to look in the background of what I'm doing. You can follow along yourself. Bribe Force 1. So apparently the Air Force One was just entirely too old, and Qatari, who by the way are not traditionally an American ally, offered Trump a I had looked it up and I had forgotten I had looked it up. Give me a second here. Give me 2 seconds, and I will look up how much Bribe Force 1. I'm gonna look this up real quick. Go to Google. Oh, speaking of Google, this is not what I want. I want it didn't give me the estimated value $400 million. Pardon me, guys. Sorry about that. I also want to call out the fact that my new logo. I don't know if you guys. I'm assuming you should have seen it. It was at the beginning of the show, but I'll go ahead and bring it back up. My new logo was made by AI. This was made by Google Gemini, and you can't see because it's cut off. But if I scale it down, there is actually a little AI tag down here, which is really cool. I actually appreciate that. I want to just mention the fact that I think that is something that should be required on any AI anything. If AI has touched it, I think it should be a clearly visible tag that AI was involved in the creation of this product. And I think that is one of the things that's necessary for the future of AI. Again, not what this show is about. We will definitely have a show on AI, the future of AI, the conversation around that, but this show is not about that. It does, again, there is some touching on that here in a little bit. It is part of the conversation around Trump, but it is minimalist, not necessarily talking about what I think about AI or what I believe AI will do to and for the American people. But anyway, $400 million Qatari bride plane. And the argument around it was basically, it's basically free. I should just take it, and it's insane. Not anybody in their right mind would believe that. But as far as there was no more reporting on it. The reporting I saw, basically, he's going to get the Qatari bribe jet. He hasn't got it yet, but he is going to get the Qatari bribe jet. And not only is he going to get the Qatari bribe jet, it's then going to be donated to the Donald J. Trump Foundation. So once he gets the Qatari bribe jet, which I think was supposed to take 3 years, so basically he'll only have a year to 6 months still in office. Once he gets the Qatari bribe jet, the next president will fly on the shitty old Air Force One, and Trump will fly around in Qatari bribe jet. From my understanding, that is the deal that was made with Qatar. We also have $10 billion purported, and this is the new breaking news. This actually broke today from Volkswagen. This is basically a $10 billion bribe. I don't remember the phrasing on it. Again, will be linked below. Pay attention to it. The phrasing on it, U.S. investments, and they're looking for a tariff exemption. Tariffs, again, if you're not familiar, Trump has come in and set what he calls reciprocal tariffs. If you look at them, they're not reciprocal tariffs. They are, we buy from them, they don't buy from us, so we're going to charge them the difference. That's not how tariffs work. And we're still not charging them anything. We're actually charging the American people. But again, not going to get into it. Tariffs is another whole episode. So I will actually probably have 3 or 4 episodes in the next few days. Next week at least. Because I have a lot to catch up on that I want to talk about. Tariffs, AI. Some things that, especially the tariffs, are changing a lot and very timely. So the tariffs are probably going to be my next thing. I wanted to talk about this simply for the final slide and what, in my opinion, is the big story here in the big conversation. And it is around Epstein, but not in the way you would expect. So, $10 billion from Volkswagen. Literally, just basically straight up is a bribe. Again, story's the thing, read the story, is a bribe. Not even trying to hide it in any way, shape, or form. This follows comments by Trump that unless Europe capitulates to him, we won't buy their cars. He won't allow their sale in America at all. That's, again, not how business works, he can't do that. He can charge insane tariffs, but he can't say you can't sell your cars here. Um, Not really. Of course, then again, there's been a whole bunch of stuff that he's supposed to have not been able to do that he just did, and everybody's kind of wandering around going, can he do that? I don't think he can do that. And then we had to go look and figure out if he can do that. And then while we're looking to figure out if he can do that, he's going on to do some other insane shit. And we're chasing him around like a toddler that just is constantly breaking toys. And we'll like pick it up and can we fix this toy or is it trash? And by the time we figured that out, again, the toddler's off breaking some other shit. Um, then you have the big beautiful bill. Oh, I'm sorry, Schumer. I'm sorry. It's the act. That's what you could get done. That is what you could do. You could change the name of this abomination that got put through and got signed into law. And there are a lot. It's 1,000 pages, and in that 1,000 pages, there are a lot of provisions and a lot of time bombs that we are going to step on and see as the days come. They got signed into law. That was signed into law so fast, there's almost no way anyone, including Trump, knows what's there until somebody uses it to do some malicious, dumbass bullshit. Um, we know there are tax breaks for the rich. We know there are cuts to Medicaid, and a lot of and when I say cuts to Medicaid, and this was actually brought up by a conservative because I don't put myself in an echo chamber. I'm a centrist. I watch both sides. I don't put myself in an echo chamber, and he had mentioned that it wasn't reducing the money for Medicaid and healthcare in general. It was reducing the increased spending. So we expected to increase 5% a year for the next 3 years, and instead they lowered the cap to 3% a year. So the most they can increase the spending is 3% a year over the next 9 years. 3% a year over the next 9 years. 3 years to 9%. So it would be 9% above what they're currently paying out. So yes, it is not technically a decrease in spending. But the reason the 5% was there was because the expected need for that spending, the expected cost of medical care was expected to increase by a minimum of 5%, probably more, if you look at the cost of medical care in America. So this is still going to kick people off of Medicaid. This is still going to remove people that should have been on Medicaid. And again, we're not even getting into the illegal immigrants who are technically on Medicaid. They shouldn't be, and that's a whole other ball of wax. And again, another thing that we're gonna come back to, we're gonna touch on, we're gonna do illegal immigrants, and the deportation / violent kidnapping of Americans. We'll do something on RFK because we're also destroying health, and we haven't even touched on that because it's not something here. Like I said, stay tuned to the channel because there is going to be quite a few videos over the next week to 2 weeks going up. Kind of just backtracking all my feelings for the past 6 months. But we're talking about selective tariff enforcement and the monetary deals that are baked into the act, or as Trump called it, the big beautiful bill. So we have, again, like I said, Volkswagen, looking for $10 billion for investments for that selective tariff enforcement. And that's what he's using them as. He's using them as a club. He's using them as a threat. And they are a negotiating tactic. And like I said, a threat. But again, those are not being paid by the company or by the country. They are being paid by the American people, by the American corporations, and then passed right on to the American people. Moving on, silencing the critics. This is something he's been trying to do. He tried to do this in the first term and had almost no success. 6 months in, we're already seeing success at this. This is a political cartoon that was in the New Yorker. It is Stephen Colbert being silenced by CBS because he was. Colbert has always been, if you don't watch the Colbert Show, I suggest it. I am an avid fan. Not necessarily because it is relatively leftist, and it is. But because it's funny and it's usually very on point, I do the research and see, sometimes he does exaggerate things for comedic effect. That's what comedians do. And centrally, he is a comedian. That is who he is. And he's always been a leftist. He's always been a bit of a leftist. He pretended he satirized a very far right Republican for years. Again, don't know Stephen Colbert. Look him up. Check him out. He is a very good comedian and a very poignant conversationalist on the things that are happening. But he has now again. He did not fire Colbert. He couldn't. It's not within his power. But the company that did fire Colbert is the same company that just paid out $60 million in a lawsuit, as well as pardon me, as well as got an $8 million merger. So again, it has a very quid pro quo, tit for tat feel to it. It's very, very relative that this is relevant, pardon me, that this is happening now. And he has used this already. This was announced less than a week ago. They are sundowning the Late Show due to financial concerns. They said that they have lost between 40 and 50 million last year, and they're expected to lose more, despite the Late Show being the highest rated late night TV show. And that is because they're saying that those time slots where people used to watch late night TV are now being taken up by they're streaming, they're watching something on. And the simple thing they could do would be to move it to a digital platform. I mean, I watch it on YouTube. I don't even watch the whole show. I watch the monologue and I watch. I usually don't care about the interviews with the guests. It's not usually something I'm interested in. I don't care about Hollywood. I do care about the state of the world generally, and that's or at least the United States, and that's a lot of what's covered in the monologue. Like I said, he's threatened other prominent TV personalities such as Jimmy Kimmel, Jon Stewart, Gail, whatever from The View. He has threatened with the firing of Colbert, which again he's basically taken credit for in this truth that he put out. He has threatened these other prominent opponents that have been speaking out. Colbert has never been quiet about it. Stewart, Kimmel, these guys have never been quiet about being opponents of Trump and his antics and his and his way of dealing with things. Um, Trump is repeatedly seen talking down to reporters, calling them bad reporters, saying that's a stupid question or refusing to answer or acknowledge responses. And this has been, it was there in the first term. I'd have to do the math. I believe it is more prevalent if you break it down like week by week, month by month, um, in the second term. I believe that there are more instances more frequently in the second term, and I don't expect that to change. I expect, especially since he has had what he considers a victory, I see him continuing to push and continuing to make enough of a fuss that he does slowly start silencing those critics. And make people scared of talking about it. As I said earlier, for all I know, 27 people are going to see this, and one of them's going to send it to Trump, and I'm going to get sued. So that is not a possibility. But we're almost 40 minutes in, and let's get to the big stuff here. Or not. We actually have one more. I forgot. I do want to touch on this. I'm going to try to touch on this quickly. The newest thing he actually was again this week. Talk about winning the AI race. This has been something that has been in the background for a long time. Us in China, similar to the space race. Staying ahead of China, staying ahead technologically and security wise while mitigating risks such as bad actors and utilizing AI for illegal causes. This was a big thing in the Biden administration. It was a big thing in the first Trump administration as AI came out. And in the nascent days, the very, very beginning of the AI, the groundwork was laid by Obama. So Trump, because AI, and again, we'll cover this a lot more. We'll go into this a lot more in the AI episode. But AI is the God mode of the almighty dollar. And he wants to reduce regulation on AI. And that reduced regulation is going to see more bad actors, more illegal operations, as well as reduced, pardon me, culpability for the actions that AI is used for. And his critics have hit back on that. There have been several AI videos made of Trump to kind of demonstrate the problem, and it doesn't seem to have affected. He is still as late as Wednesday of this week talked about how we'll win the AI race, what we're going to do, and how we're going to push forward. Also, there is a decent bit of AI baked into the act for, again, the Big Beautiful Bill. And because of it, what's in the Big Beautiful Bill, he has had, specifically Marjorie Taylor Greene was one of the ones I could find. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene has said things like she doesn't want solar power because she likes to read at night. So she's not the crispiest cracker. But even she went, wait a minute, we probably shouldn't just give AI a free run and the states can't do anything. And that's part of what's in the Big Beautiful Bill, the Act. So she had supposedly requested it to be sent back down. I know it was sent back down to the House. I have not looked at H.R. 1, which is the actual bill reference, since it was sent back down and passed. I will, prior to the AI episode, at least in regards to the information on AI, and we may also have some conversation on that on the tariff episode, or even possibly the migrant. As I said, this is a large bill with a lot of provisions, and I don't think anybody, again, I don't think anybody, even Trump, knows everything that's in it and how those things can be used to harm the American people. I'm not gonna push it around it. It is, and it will harm the American people. Um, so big thing, right? Epstein. That has been the conversation piece for 2 weeks. Um, Trump in the Epstein files. Trump ran on this, and as late as February of this year, was still making promises to unseal the Epstein files. It was something MAGA wanted. It was something that had been pushed and pushed. The conversation around the fact that there were Democrats that had been involved in with Epstein, and were part of this pedophile ring. It's a lot of what QAnon is about, and again, probably going to cover some of that because I had not realized exactly how bat crap crazy QAnon was until very recently. Like, I was kind of, they were in the camp of believe some crazy shit similar to Scientologists and Mormons, but now, no. Like, it's like really, really crazy shit. And if Scientologists or Mormons want to leave me comments, you go ahead on. We can have a play more. I will make a Mormon cry. I don't give a damn. Um, but uh, we've never been more obsessed with unsealing the Epstein files. And that's a problem. And that's the thing. Everybody, whether they be left, right, center, they're all talking about the Epstein files. But what nobody realizes and what nobody's thinking about is the Epstein files are just a distraction themselves. Yes, he's throwing up distractions to keep you from talking about the Epstein files, but all that's done is make us talk more about the Epstein files. And the problem is, what exactly would happen? Let's say he unseals the Epstein files, and his name is in the Epstein files 57 times. And Epstein has legitimate transactional took DJT to Island, 3 14-year-old girls, DJT paid X amount of money. What's going to happen? His own Department of Justice is going to go after him? No. Do we have any proof? No. We have a dead man. We have the unverified account of a dead man. That's why they killed him. And now they're talking about bringing Ghislaine Maxwell on, again, unverified. Unverified accomplice testimony. You're not. It's not going to be enough to prosecute anyone, unless they have proof, a video of Trump banging a 14-year-old. They're not going to. And again, his DOJ is not going to prosecute him. So even if he got up on a podium and he said that he knew he was in the Epstein files, and what the fuck were we going to do about it? What is our answer going to be? Because this is what his people knew about before he was elected.
And she used to be great. She's still very good. I moved on her, actually. She was down in Palm Beach. I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it. Whoa. I did try and fuck her. She was married. No, Nancy. No, this was, and I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where there's some nice furniture. I took out furniture. I moved in her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there. And she was married. Then all of a sudden I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look.
She's your girl's hot as shit. In the purple.
Whoa!
Yes!
Whoa!
Yes, the Donald is scored!
Whoa!
Oh, my man! Wait, you gotta look at me when you get out of your
Sets this up.
That is very.
Will you give me the thumbs
Look
up?
at you. You are a
You
piece.
gotta put the thumbs up. You gotta get the thumbs up. Can't be too happy.
Else off first? Yeah, let me.
It's very
You
funny.
gotta give me the thumbs up.
All right, you and I will walk down.
Oh my god.
Maybe it's a different one.
Better not be the publicist. No, it's her. It's
Yeah, that's her, with the gold. I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything.
Look at those legs. All I can see is the legs.
No, it looks good.
Come on, shorty.
Oh, nice legs, huh?
Oof, get out of the way, honey. That's good legs. Go ahead.
It's always good if you don't fall out of the bus. Like Ford, Gerald Ford, remember?
Down below. Pull the handle.
Hello, how are you? Hi.
Trump, how
nice
are
seeing
you?
you. Terrific.
Pleasure to meet you.
Terrific. You know Billy Bush?
How are you?
Nice to see you. How you doing,
Very
Ariane?
good.
And precisely, this is 2005, and thank you for whoever's channel I directly stole this from. Sorry. And this is from Atlanta News. This is what he said during the election. So if they already knew about this, and then they heard this.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country. In Springfield, they're eating.
So if that was happening and they knew about it, what do you think would happen if they found out 100% for sure Trump was yes? Abso-fucking-lutely nothing. But you know what the conversation is covering up? The deals with Volkswagen, the deals with Paramount, the silencing of the critics and the crowing, him effectively silencing Stephen Colbert would be front page news if the conversation wasn't all around Epstein. This is not all he's done to silence his critics. He has restricted access to the White House news pool. He has changed who's allowed to be there. He has allowed talking heads like Logan Paul, and I don't know if Logan Paul's actually been there. But what is his name? He was just there recently, actually, as having a conversation, brought to the forefront and asking questions of President Trump. Tim, is it Tim Pool? Is that who it is? I think that's right. I think it's Tim Pool. Yeah, Tim Pool with the hood. I mean the meaning. So they're allowing all of these talking heads and sides. And again, Tim, come at me, bro. Come at me. I'm not going on your show. Well, I'm not driving to your studio. But if you want to have me on as a guest, I will wreck your shit. Believe it. Believe it. Tim Pool's not going to see this. No one's going to see this. Like, there's going to be 7 people that see this, and then it's just going to go in a hole in the dark. And 7 is an optimist. Like that's an optimistic guess. I don't think I've ever had any 7 people watch my videos, but I don't care. I don't do this. I would love to have conversations and do this and become a big talking head. I don't know. I probably wouldn't want to be a talking head, but if I ended up being a talking head and making a bunch of money, I would be mad. But although that does remind me of the conversation about selling out, but we're not gonna go there today, guys. I want to thank you for spending almost an hour here with me. I do want to pimp. I have a book that came out. It has nothing to do with politics. It is short horror stories. It is on Amazon. It is called Simulacrum of Sanity. Simulacrum of Sanity. I've always had a problem with the word simulacrum, so I don't know why I made it the title of my book. Because I'm an idiot. Would be the short answer. But Simulacrum of Sanity is out now. It is also currently part of Kindle Unlimited. So if you are a Kindle Unlimited subscriber, you can read that for free. Please go read that. Enjoy it. It is weird and twisted stories from a weird and twisted mind. And if you watch this, if you watch Fight Me, you know that I do have a very strange mind, but it is analytical, and so it does some very strange things to horror fiction and science fiction, cosmic horror, things like that. Again, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Again, keep an eye on the channel. I'm also on TikTok. Follow me over there. All of this stuff, all of it, is going to be down in the description below. Link to the book, a link to my TikTok, and all of my social media. We are still running Shadow Stream. You guys may see some different content out of Shadow Stream. It's not coming from me. Maybe. We'll see. But just keep posted. And I want to thank you guys. And I hope that it gets better. And you guys just hold on to the handlebars real tight. Have a good day. Thank you much.